Bem-vindos, Kreuser aqui, e o vídeo de hoje é uma entrevista com parte do elenco e o criador de Raised by Wolves, que chega aí na sua segunda temporada, dia 3 de fevereiro, pelo HBO Max, e eu tive essa oportunidade de conversar com eles, então eu falei bastante sobre o universo de sci-fi que foi criado do zero, o que é ótimo, porque hoje em dia a gente tem vivido, né, muito da era das adaptações, e também perguntei mais sobre a Serpente, sobre o que a gente vai ver aí nessa segunda temporada. Eu assisti só aos 3 primeiros episódios da segunda temporada para fazer essa entrevista, e eu espero que vocês gostem aí das informações, o que vem por aí, e o que vocês podem esperar para esses 3 primeiros episódios é justamente uma expansão desse universo do que a gente viu até agora, e também as consequências do final. E segundo eles também, a gente vai ter algumas respostas que esperou bastante lá na primeira temporada. E eles também falaram o que a gente pode esperar pro final da segunda temporada. Então, antes, não esquece de se inscrever aqui no canal e clicar no sininho para receber notificação para quando tiver um vídeo novo, que eu sempre trago as novidades dos filmes e das séries aqui para vocês o quanto antes vocês sabem, e entrevistas tão legais como essa. Então, espero que vocês gostem dela, então fiquem com ela.
Androids can change, just like human beings.
There is a signal. Maybe this is paradise.
I'm going to see that you reach your full potential.
My purpose is keeping my children safe.
What a productive day this is proving to be.
Perhaps you're becoming too human.
Today we live in the age of adaptations. What is the biggest difficulty in building a sci-fi work from scratch and keeping this universe interesting?
It's interesting building it when you don't have a book. You have to write the book while you're writing the script. You're just writing a ton of stuff, and then you start to pull out the stuff that, you know, is going to work in the show. But I think you do have to go through the process of writing a lot of things that will never be on screen. You know, you do have to kind of create a Bible for yourself, a kind of a book that I can reference, that I'm kind of writing in my mind. The great thing when you're adapting these huge books is it is so rich. You know, there's so much detail, and I want to make sure we have all of that stuff to really put myself on the ground on Kepler 22b, and, you know, really know everything around me and make it a 360-degree, you know, virtual experience.
In the second season, we have new characters that are very different from what we've seen so far. How do you expect them to add to the discussion and allegories of the series, especially after the end of the first season and the consequences seen in these first 3 episodes?
Yeah, I'm obviously one of the new 6 characters that have joined, and I think every single character offers a different element. They all after different things. Some are wanting survival, some are just wanting more out of life, some are wanting a human experience, some are wanting more than a human experience. And I think those also form challenges for our intrinsic or our set characters.
In terms of grandmother, I think I read a lot about like Lilith when I was preparing. So there's Adam, there's Eve, who you can compare to mother and father, and then you have Lilith, who is almost like, I think, Adam's second wife or something, and she wants
First. She was the first. Yeah.
And she wants protection, she wants love, and has been almost smited. Not to say that grandmother was smited, but in terms of where she fits in that story, I would say like Lilith is almost an apt comparison.
I know most productions hate to explain their endings, but in Raised by Wolves, we have several allegories and a remarkable ending. What does the ending bring to this second season? Will we have more answers? Will we know more about Campion being special?
Yeah, for sure. I think last year we ended with the birth, mother's natural child, the serpent. And so this season, we're dealing a lot with the fallout of that. You know, that creature still exists, and mother still has a connection to it, but it also endangers all of her human children. So she kind of has to make this choice between her natural child and her mission to protect human beings, even though she's not herself a human being. In some respects, she has more connection to the serpent than she does to the humans. So I think that's going to be a big part of the second season. And I you know, in terms of the allegorical nature of it, you know, I think we're continuing on with that. And the planet, you know, I like to think of as almost like it's like a haunted house. and it's got these mysteries, things that happen there. And I think in the second season, we're going to start to figure out more about who used to live in this house previously and what went on there. And, a little bit about, what you're saying in terms of why some of these things are the way they are on this planet.
When the mother says that she had a relationship with the creator, the father seems to be jealous, and here we see him creating things. Can we expect an evolution equivalent to the mother or something different? Even because we see the mother herself saying androids can change.
Yes, well, for sure, and she does, and also father, interestingly, tries to create something of his own, as he does feel kind of left out. He feels almost as if mother had an affair, and she created this new being without him. He had a hard time kind of dealing with that in season 2. Part of the way he's processing that is he starts to build his own creation, which actually becomes Selena's character grandmother, which is a very different android from a very different time. So through grandmother, we get to learn a lot about what makes mother and father special, and also, different ways of dealing with human beings, because grandmother has her own ideas about, how androids and human beings should relate to one another. So we get into a lot of that.
Now, if I told you this, I think HBO would kill me. So I'm not gonna. No, but I think it's an interesting one. I think there's definitely a journey there, or a fascination with the creation that father is making. I would say even actually there is a relationship that develops with this process that is really, again, exciting to explore, that I'm sure Amanda enjoyed as much as I did.
Oh my God.
As a whole.
Raider.
No. But I have to say, Aaron told me.
What? Are you serious?
Aaron is the biggest spoiler of all. Like, he always spoils the whole thing.
I'm gonna give away
Unbelievable.
Sue and Mother took a step towards creating a relationship in the first season. What will this relationship evolve in the second season? Because we had Sue with a background of miscarriage and the mother saying she's lost, but it's a lie, and we still see her dealing with the consequences of the end.
It's almost like a sisterhood, because they're not like friends, because they're more like sisters, and they're trying to figure out who's the oldest in the family. And I've kind of always looked at it that way, because it's like neither of them want to admit one of them is wrong or too bossy, or there's this friendship sisterhood that kind of evolves in the second season, and they ultimately have to rely on each other for help. And so it's really nice to see that evolve, because Sue is always kind of, in season 1, has always kind of looked at mother as this weapon of mass destruction, and now that she's becoming more human in some ways, it's like almost like she's got a friend to talk to and kind of bounce off different ideas, and vice versa.
I would say that Sue has a problem with dating power-sick, narcissistic men.
Yeah, her track record isn't great.
You're attracted to them, baby. Yeah, I think it's interesting to hear Neve's point of view, because for Mother, being an android, female acquaintances are always very interesting to her, because it's like, what is it about being a woman, right? Like, why did you do that? Why are you reacting this way? How are you behaving in front of your kids? It's a way of learning. So it's actually much more emotion-less of an approach than you would have as a normal friendship. Like you say, you don't know who's the bigger sister, because they keep learning from each other.
The Serpent, even after the first 3 episodes, is still a question. What can we expect for the conclusion of the second season? Without the spoilers.
How much did Aaron tell you?
I don't know.
Not much.
No,
He told me what he created.
Honestly, no, I do think like the end of this season will pack as much of as weight as it did at the end of season 1 with the Serpent. Aaron's really good at hooking you, getting, sort of resolving questions and answers and stories, and then presenting even more. And I think that's what's really exciting about the end of this season. It's you're left thinking, oh my God, where else can they go?
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye bye.